Here, next one is another special one. This one comes from the best man and the brother of the groom. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Vishesh.
Good evening, everyone. For whoever doesn't know me, my name is Vishesh. I'm Vishesh's brother. Thank you. I asked my brother how long my speech was supposed to be, and he said it could be as long as I wanted. Be careful what you wish for. Firstly, I'd like to thank all of you for being here on this momentous occasion. Not just for my brother and Leeza, but for everyone who has had the pleasure of knowing them. Thanks to everyone who traveled from Bikaner, from Jaipur, from Bombay, from New York, from Houston. We really appreciate everyone who came here today. And now, getting into the speech. So when I first heard that I was going to have a little brother, I was over the moon. I remember the day he was born like it was yesterday. I couldn't wait to meet him, to play with him, to show him all the things I loved. From the very beginning, I was so excited that I just couldn't even let him sleep. He was just a baby, like, babies need sleep. I just wanted to be around him. I wanted to spend every moment with him. I wanted to give him a nickname. So I used to call him Duper. I called him that because, well, he was my buddy, and I didn't know a lot of words at that time. So I just made one up. He was my partner in crime. Even though he was just a baby, he couldn't say much more than a few gurgles. And as we grew up, I began to notice something extraordinary about him. He had qualities that I found myself in awe of. His maturity, his incredible athleticism, his intellect, his way with words, his intellect, again, because between us, he's the smart one. His way with words was that he could just charm anyone, and his ability to navigate life with tact and foresight. These are always things I admired in him because they're things I often felt that I lacked. But that's what makes him so special. He's not just my younger brother, he's someone that I've always looked up to. Figuratively and literally, he is taller than me. Now, we've never been the type of brothers who openly talk about our feelings. We have this unspoken language, a way of communicating without words. When I lived abroad, I missed him more than I could ever admit, but I'm admitting it today. And wherever there was a day where we exchanged a few messages or talked, it was always a highlight of my day. And it was those small interactions that reminded me of how much he meant to me, even when we were miles apart. Growing up, we hardly ever fought. Sure, there was those moments where we played and things didn't go as planned, and he would cry, and I'd desperately try to shut him up, and then he'd cry even louder, and I'd cover his mouth, and he'd stop crying. And when I thought he was safe, he would start crying again, almost like he knew what he was doing. We used to play this game where we would take our socks off and roll them up into balls, and then like find other things around the house and just like start whipping them at each other. We'd take cover behind furniture and just start throwing things at each other, and inevitably something would hit him in the eye or in the face a bit too hard, and he would start crying all over again. One time, however, this one time, we were doing wrestling moves like, choke slam, pedigree, DDT. So I choke slammed him, and his nose started bleeding. And this time he didn't cry. He let me clean him up, and then he looked at me smiling, and he was like, "I'm brave, right, Leia?" And that's one of my core memories. And I look back at him and I say, "Yes, you are brave." moments like that brought us closer together, and those are the memories that I'll always cherish. And I want to say something that I probably don't say enough. I love you, man. I would do anything for